Joining me on the line,
right.
he is from Cinemablend.com. He reviews movies and bitches a ton. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com.
Wow. Coming in hot right out the gate. That's my job. Where do you get off, sir?
Well, that we can't talk about that on the air. How you doing tonight or today or what's going on? I don't know what's happening.
Time is very nebulous at this point for the two of us, so I understand your confusion completely. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Hey, I don't know why, but this week I've been super tired. Like I haven't been able to catch up after the vacation last week. So
same, and it was weird because I worked on Black Friday, but I was off Thanksgiving, so it's like off work, off. What are you doing? What brain?
Well, I was off. I took off the Wednesday through the Monday, and I've just never been able to kind of get things set right in my head, but whatever. Mike, not a ton of big movies opening this week. A couple in theater that we haven't seen, but you're hearing some things about. Wolf and Red Rocket. I want to start with Red Rocket because it's about a former porn star or something like that, right?
Oh yeah, this is an absolutely wild sounding movie, and I have seen the trailer. It looks absolutely fantastic. I need to see this as soon as I can. But unfortunately, the problem is it's an independent movie, so it's going to open small. It's probably more of an awards qualifying run. And normally New York and LA are the two big places that get those movies first. Okay. And that's where all the screenings have been. And it's like, oh, man, really? And
man,
just between my schedule and everything.
I'm looking up to see if it's anywhere near, here in Iowa. But no, I just, what were you saying it's about? It's like a former porn star goes home or something?
Yeah, that's basically it. Like a former porn star played by Simon Rex, who actually has had a bit of a background in porn himself, returns to his town in Texas, his hometown in Texas, and hilarity ensues. As anyone could tell you with the poster where it looks like he's pulling a pose like the Coppertone Baby, where it's like the face of like shock and awe, like, oops, only he's covering his junk and standing in the middle of a donut.
That's awesome. Real quick.
If that doesn't tell you what you need to know about the movie, the trailer using "NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye" will.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. And I looked it up on Fandango. All it did was sign me up for Fandango Fan Alert to find out when tickets are available in your area. So I'm guessing if you want to see Red Rocket, you're going to do some traveling. So you
might need to do some traveling, or it may hit VOD in time for Christmas, potentially, just because I know that A24 has put their movies onto VOD pretty quickly.
Okay.
Because of the pandemic world we live in.
Yeah. The other one in theaters this week, an Irish-Polish drama film called Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf. What can one really say about Wolf, an Irish-Polish drama film? Basically, it focuses around a very specific psychological condition called species dysphoria. Basically, people think that they're animals. George McKay from 1917 thinks he's a wolf.
Okay.
And Lily Rose Depp thinks that she's a wildcat. And basically, it's a whole drama set in this clinic where they're trying to cure these people of these disorders.
Yeah. And this is a real disorder, right?
Yes. It is, again, species dysphoria.
And this isn't to offend anybody, but this sounds like a comedy. Like it sounds like something Seth Rogen would do as a comedy. Like, oh, this kid thinks he's a wolf. This kid, thinks he's a wildcat or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I am also going to throw out the disclaimer of I'm not offending anyone, and I've seen the trailer for this. It does look pretty chilling and pretty weighted. But you go back 10 years ago, and this was probably a cutesy hipster indie movie where, if this was made by someone else, it would be that movie where it's like these two people kind of meet in the clinic and fall in love, and there's like a big speech at the end. Like, but of course the movie would totally like brush the actual reality of the condition aside, and it would just,
I take it back. 10 years ago, it would have been, who did the Stuck on You? Was that the
Oh, God, the Farrelly Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, this would be a Farrelly Brothers movie.
Right?
It'd be called Howl at the Moon.
Wow.
It'd be called Howl at the Moon. Okay, who would they cast? Because 10 years ago, so we're saying 2012. Do we want to go back earlier? Because the Farrellys were kind of absent around then, if I remember correctly.
I feel like we're getting into bad territory. I'm really not trying to make fun of this. It's just one of those things, like, you hear it and it sounds like it should be something else. That's all I'm saying.
Oh no, I don't think you're making fun of this at all. But this is an example of, if you just read a synopsis and don't have many other clues as to what a movie's about, stuff like this can go either way.
Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. All right, so other than that, there's some streaming movies coming out this week, but kind of a week for movies, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I would say week specifically. It's just we're sort of entering that season where there are some blockbusters, but there's a lot of movies that are going to be playing right now that are going to be awards contenders. And again, theatrical windows being what they are, there's going to be all sorts of hurdles for, like, this is the conversation that always happens around this time of year, because you've got regular moviegoers that want to go see a movie and want to see something like Don't Look Up, which is going to be in limited theatrical release.
Okay.
Or, I don't know, like The Tender Bar or Tragedy in Macbeth. They're going to want to see the movies that critics are talking about, because right now critics groups have already seen these movies or are about to see them. They're going to start buzzing them up, and then the common moviegoer is going to want to see them, but the options are going to be limited.
Okay.
So this week it's streaming, which is probably, a lot of parents are probably going to let their kids watch Diary of a Wimpy Kid this weekend, or Shaun the Sheep, The Flight Before Christmas. Like, they're gonna be focusing on that, whereas Wolf is kind of in a middle ground between blockbuster and like awards contender, and then Red Rocket is straight up a awards contender that, as you had pointed out, that's not even near you.
No.
Not to mention, we are coming off of a packed Thanksgiving where there was three major films that came out in theaters for Thanksgiving.
And we weren't, obviously had the week off last week, but what were they? Resident Evil was one of them, right?
Resident Evil, Welcome to Raccoon City, House of Gucci, and Disney's Encanto. And I will very quickly tell you, Encanto is beautiful. I loved it.
Okay.
Still have not seen House of Gucci yet, but House of Gucci is a wild range of reactions, from what the hell is this to this is beautiful soap opera trash. And Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is such a disappointment. I wrote a huge rant about it on Cinemablend. I just, as a fan of the games, they spent so much time paying attention to Easter eggs and the look and the feel. But the story was, you should never try to do Resident Evil 1 and 2 mixed together without at least a series worth of content.
See,
and also, the solution is staring you in the face, because Resident Evil 2 and 3 take place within 24 to 48 hours of each other. Those are the two movies you throw together, or three games you throw together.
You were really excited about this, though, weren't you?
I was really excited because the first trailer I saw, it did have, there was stuff that looked so accurate to the games. And I'll admit, even though they weren't accurate to the games, the Paul W.S. Anderson movies were fun. Even the lowest entries, I've gone back to watch that series again. And even the lowest entry, which for the record is Afterlife, which is a slog, it's interesting and takes chances. They're not trying to sell you on, this is a game accurate representation made by fans for fans. So they can cherry pick anything they want because they're telling a different story. This is trying to tell the story of Resident Evil 1 and 2. And it's okay, these things technically in universe take place about 2 months apart. And you're just going to smash them together when you've got this other pair of games, 2 and 3, where they're in the same 24, 48-hour period, overlapping with a fan favorite character. And you mean to tell me you couldn't have done those two and then basically gone back to one as its own movie if this did well? No.
I just want to reiterate, I believe it was me who said, do we need another Resident Evil movie? And you were like, yes, we do. It's awesome. I need this in my life.
That's not saying this movie was going to be good because, yeah, we need another Resident Evil movie. I just want it done right next time.
Oh, God.
And not to mention, we've got a Netflix series coming.
See, I think Resident Evil, like, as a Netflix series or as just a series in general works better. Because some of that video game...
Yeah.
Because I look at it, imagine, and the example I'll use is, imagine if Walking Dead was just one movie or a series of movies.
I think I'd have preferred that.
Really?
Yeah, because as someone who couldn't even get into season 2, I think they should have just capped that. And look, I know when Robert Kirkman first invented the comic, he's like, this is a never-ending zombie movie. This is the after the zombie apocalypse. I'm like, cool, awesome. And I loved reading that comic. But just that series did not feel as fun as the comic. And then the behind-the-scenes drama and the things that fans have said about how the series played out, it's like, no.
Okay, then hear me out. What if it was more like... look at World War Z. I think that's one that would have worked better as a TV show because there's so much story to explain.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, and they could have done it right.
Yeah, that's why I think that's where I think Hollywood messes up sometimes. It's like, we have to make this a movie. No, make it a really good TV show.
I want Brad Pitt to be jetting around the world trying to save everyone with Peter Capaldi. And it's like, guys, no, this isn't what the book was. The book was like if you did a Ken Burns mockumentary.
Yeah.
Like if Ken Burns did a documentary on the zombie apocalypse, that's what World War Z was as a book. And if anybody really wants to experience that outside of the printed word, listen to the audiobook. Because have you ever listened to the audiobook?
Of World War Z?
Yeah.
No, but I've read it.
Listen to the audiobook because they've got like Nathan Fillion, Henry Rollins, Alan Alda,
cool.
Carl Reiner, like an amazing cast of voices. Mark Hamill's in there. Oh, Mark Hamill gets it. I think he does the Battle of Yonkers section.
Oh, cool.
But also, yeah, just look. If Mark Hamill's in your voice acting cast, you just need to experience it, period.
Awesome. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joining me on the line. As it goes for movie news this week, not a ton out there. Of course, we were joking off air that it'd probably go to Spider-Man in some way. You've got, all the rumors and all the, videos and theories out there for that. There was a lot of Matrix stuff out there this week, a lot of new trailers, a lot of TV stuff. But
dude.
What?
Dude.
The Matrix stuff is
so beautiful.
It came out of nowhere this week, right? Like they just put a lot of stuff out.
Well, the big thing was they put out another trailer to announce that next Monday at 9 p.m. I think it's 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Check your time zones accordingly. Tickets go on sale
for Matrix.
Yes, for Matrix Resurrections.
I want to go to the theater, but I'm probably going to end up watching it at home. I'm not going to lie.
Oh.
I know. I don't know who I'd go with. My wife has zero. You know what? Maybe that's what I go to by myself.
Bribe her with a steak dinner.
She's not a big steak eater, believe it or not.
What does she eat?
I don't know. Vegetables and crap. I don't really pay attention
Bribe
to
her
her.
with a crudité platter.
Here's a carrot, honey.
Darling, I have sourced all of the ethical raw vegetables and ranch dip for you from the land. Shall we attend the theater?
I don't know. It's all messed up with the pregnancy. She's got to eat certain things and can't eat certain things. And the pregnancy changes what she likes and what she doesn't like. So I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's fair. She's got a matrix going on inside her. I get that.
Before she had our first kid, she loved wine and she loved ahi tuna. Afterwards, wine gives her headaches and she's not a big ahi tuna fan anymore.
Oh man,
it's kind of it's kind of along the realms of you remember National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Falls down a well, eyes go cross. Gets kicked by a mule, eyes go back. I don't know. So, but no, the Matrix stuff looks awesome. I'm excited about that. Of course, I'm excited about Spider-Man and real quick, I will put this out there. If if you're looking for a good series, especially if you're into Marvel, Hawkeye's really good.
I'll still I still have not started it. Maybe I'll start it at some point soon. I've just been kind of I'll get around to it eventually. I know it's required reading for the next 50 movies that are going to happen.
No, that's the thing. Like, I started watching it, man, and I was kind of under that thing because I was like, I don't know if I need a series about Hawkeye, right? It's turning out to be really good. So,
well, I've got something to mention for this weekend as well.
What?
Because the good folks at the Ed Asner Family Center are doing a live Zoom table read of It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, cool.
And again, and the reason I remembered this is because Mark Hamill's in it, along with, there's like a whole bunch of people in here, like Mandy Patinkin, Rosario Dawson, Martin Sheen, Ed Harris, Jason Sudeikis, I think is going to be George Bailey. Kathy Bates is in there. And it's an event for charity to fund the Ed Asner Family Center, which they work with children who are neurodivergent and sort of helping them and their families. If you go to edasnerfamilycenter.org, you can get tickets. It will be this Sunday from 5 to 9 Pacific. So again, check your times accordingly.
Okay.
And another reason I'm mentioning this is because the good folks at the Ed Asner Family Center actually sent me a press kit, which I'll be posting pictures of that later. But I got a really cool T-shirt, a poster of art for the show, and then probably one of the most unexpectedly beautiful things. There's a book that actually it's the pamphlet that It's a Wonderful Life was based off of, and it's actually signed by Ed Asner, who we sadly lost this year. And I think this is a tradition that I know they did it last year, and I think this is I don't know if it's the second time they're doing this or if it's a tradition that they've been doing for a while, but it's really nice to see. First of all, It's a Wonderful Life is a beautiful film, and it's nice to see Ed Asner's memory honored. I'm still kind of in shock that we are no longer with this man.
I will add a link to the bottom of the page for the Ed Asner stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Mike Reyes from Cinemablend.com joins me every Friday on the show to talk about movies and stuff and life and all of that. Mike, you have a good weekend, okay?
You too, man.